Hello everyone, I'm Kate Andrews and here's a look at what's going on this week in the news, and we begin with news from around the world. As we reported last week, beginning at noon December 10th on the South Pacific island of Samoa, a wave of prayer will travel west across the world's time zones. Organized by Caritas International, the prayer is to end hunger across the globe, and Pope Francis has thrown his support behind this One Human Family, Food for All campaign. His Holiness offered his blessing in a video message released on the eve of the global launch. In the 5-minute video, he said that even though there is enough food in the world to feed everyone, about 1 billion people are still suffering from hunger today. Caritas International has invited its 164 member organizations and local churches to pray for an end to hunger and malnutrition. The organization is urging Catholics to take a few moments at noon, December 10th, to join the world in praying against hunger and to engage in long-term action through raising awareness, advocacy, and charitable work. Caritas is also calling on the United Nations to hold a session on the right to food at its 2015 General Assembly and is asking governments to guarantee the right to food. For more information, please go to food.caritas.org. In news from Rome, on Sunday, Pope Francis recited the Angelus to the crowds gathered in St. Peter's Square. During the prayer, the Pope spoke about how the Virgin Mary always stuck with God's plan for her, despite the pain and suffering she had to go through. He said that we too are chosen to be holy and immaculate and to live a life free from sin. After the Angelus, the Pope traveled to Rome's Spanish Steps to honor Mary on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. Rome Reports has the details.
Musical hymns and throngs of people welcome Pope Francis to his first papal visit to pay homage to the Immaculate Conception in Rome's Spanish Steps. Almost immediately, the personable Pope began greeting people. As he walked, an elderly woman threw Pope Francis a white rose. He immediately picked it up and headed towards her. The Pope greeted several sick and elderly people before making his way to the main square. During the ceremony, Pope Francis opted for a prayer to Our Lady rather than speech. He prayed for her intercession on behalf of the sick, the poor, and the elderly.
Aiutaci a rimanere in ascolto attento dalla voce del Signore. Il grido dei poveri non ci lasci mai indifferenti. La sofferenza dei malati e di chi è nel bisogno non ci trovi distratti. La solitudine degli anziani e la fragilità dei bambini ci commuovono. Ogni vita umana sia da tutti noi sempre amata e venerata.
Following the brief ceremony, the Pope dedicated even more time to greeting some of the very people he prayed for. Among hugs and kisses, people showered the Pope with gifts, ranging from letters to roses. At one point, a wheelchair-bound woman was moved to tears as the Pope comforted her. Once he finished greeting people, the Pope headed to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, where he prayed before Rome's patroness. It was his 6th visit to the Papal Basilica since his election.
Staying with news from Rome, Pope Francis concelebrated a Mass with Patriarch Abraham Isaac Sadrach, the leader of Egypt's Coptic Catholics, at the Vatican Monday morning. Patriarch Sadrach was in Rome for his traditional gesture of ecclesiastical communion with the Holy See. During the Mass, the pontiff prayed for the safety and religious liberty of Christians in the Middle East, an area where Patriarch Sadrach said is in need of Pope Francis's support. Since President Hosni Mubarak was overthrown in 2011, about 300,000 Catholics have left Egypt. In July 2013, Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi was overthrown by the military. In August, more than 70 churches around the country were burned, ransacked, and looted. The now banned Muslim Brotherhood and Morsi's Islamist supporters have been blamed for these acts. Of Egypt's 85 million citizens, 165,000 people are Catholic. Later in the day, Pope Francis welcomed the President of the Republic of the Congo. Rome Reports goes inside the meeting between the two leaders.
Denis Sassou Nguesso arrived at the Apostolic Palace for an official visit to the Vatican. Pope Francis welcomed him inside his library. The two spoke about the relationships between the two countries, as well as the role of the Church in the Congo, especially in the field of education. Another important topic the two leaders addressed is the situation of refugees in the Republic of the Congo and security in the region. After their meeting, the Congolese president introduced his delegation, including ministers and the ambassador. As a gift, the president gave the Pope 2 copies of a geopolitics journal featuring an article he wrote on sustainable development and security in Africa. Meanwhile, the Pope gave him a medallion of his pontificate.
Finally, in news from Hollywood, biblical films are expected to dominate the box office in 2014 and 2015. First up on the big screen next year is Son of God, opening in February in the U.S. The Fox-produced film is based on the Bible, last year's hit for the History Channel. Fox also has Exodus penciled in for a December 12th release date. Directed by Ridley Scott, the film follows Moses as he leads Egypt's Hebrew slaves to the Promised Land. Christian Bale will take on the role of Moses. Also set to hit the big screen is Darren Aronofsky's Noah, starring Russell Crowe as the builder of the Ark and co-starring Anthony Hopkins, Emma Watson, and Jennifer Connelly. The story of Mary and Joseph escaping from King Herod will come to life in Mary. Brad Pitt will take on the title role in Pontius Pilate in 2015. Still in negotiations is Resurrection, which will tell the story of the first 40 days following the resurrection of Jesus. And Ben-Hur will make its third trip to the silver screen in 2015. But if you'd rather stay at home, a 10-part miniseries on the 10 Commandments, 1 episode per commandment, will come to the small screen in 2014 using big-name directors such as Wes Craven and Lee Daniels. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. I'm Kate Andrews, and don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.